Democrats in the House Ways and Means Committee have subpoenaed Donald Trump's taxes along with the tax returns for his 3 children. Now, Deutsche Bank has finally confessed that it does have taxes pertaining to the Trump family. However, it's unclear which family members these tax returns belong to. Now, I'm gonna kind of run through this story and tell you how it went down from beginning to end. The latest news, though, is that Deutsche Bank said in a court filing that it has tax returns relevant to House Democrat subpoenas for financial records of President Trump, his family, and his businesses, but the bank didn't publicly identify whose returns it had. The bank also said in its letter, and this is a court filing that they again put out today, in its letter to a federal appeals court in New York, that it has tax returns related to parties not named in the subpoenas, but who may constitute immediate family within the definition provided in the subpoenas. Now, what's also fascinating is that this latest news really does go against what Deutsche Bank was trying to do last Friday, where it was trying to really hide whose taxes and whether or not it even had any taxes of any members of the Trump family. During the court proceeding on Friday, the banks repeatedly refused to tell judges whether they possessed Trump's tax returns, citing contractual obligations. And we have some sound from that proceeding in this next clip. Take a look.
Does the bank have tax returns of any of the named people or entities?
Your Honor, given contractual obligations and other legal obligations, that's unfortunately not a question that we're able to address. The bank has contractual.
What privilege are you asserting?
The bank has contractual obligations to its clients related to confidential.
You think you can contract away the opportunity to answer a court's question without a privilege such as the Fifth Amendment or something comparable? You can just say, we told our client we won't do it?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
They're like, we told our client that we would money launder for them and not tell the courts of our illegal actions. Oh, well, I didn't know that, my bad. Okay, so go ahead. And I don't say that lightly. Deutsche Bank has been proven to money launder. You're never gonna guess for who. Russian oligarchs. Wild coincidence, or perhaps not.
Yeah, exactly. So as a result of that line of questioning, they had no choice but to put out this court filing indicating that they do in fact have the tax returns of Trump family members. Although at this moment, it's unclear which family members specifically they have the tax returns of. Now, one other thing that I wanted to mention is that this is what the House Democrats are doing in terms of holding Donald Trump accountable. They want access to his tax returns. Donald Trump has been fighting this aggressively, and he is appealing the court's ruling that Deutsche Bank must hand over these tax returns. Now, the whole point of looking into his tax returns isn't, to embarrass him, although I'm sure there's embarrassing stuff in there. It's to see whether or not he has certain dealings with foreign governments that could influence his decision making. It's to see whether or not he inflated his assets to commit tax or to commit loan fraud, right, in obtaining loans from Deutsche Bank, or whether or not he deflated his assets in order to do tax fraud.
And whether he's working with the goddamn Russians, okay?
Yeah.
So look, let me be clear about a couple of things. And let me tell you how at fault the Democrats are in this situation, unfortunately. And then I want you to do something about it. So what I don't want the tax returns for is to embarrass Donald Trump. And you think like, hey, Cenk, you hate Donald Trump, who are you kidding? No, I'm serious. If the government gets his tax returns and it shows that he's broke and he's an idiot buffoon who's doesn't have 10 billion, doesn't have a billion, doesn't have any of those things, I know that, don't leak that stuff. That's not right for the government to get the information. There's just to leak politically damaging information. I would hold the Democrats accountable if they did that. And yeah, we'd be proven right, et cetera. That's not the point though. You get the tax returns for legitimate reasons. The reason is, as Bill Pascrell said, he's a congressman from New Jersey. Well, the American people have a right to know if their president's a crook. It's not that complicated. If his tax returns are on the up and up, but they show embarrassing stuff, let it go, right? But if his tax returns show, wait a minute, now all of his money's coming from the Russians. Deutsche Bank is doing money laundering for the Russians. Trump's also got his money there. And then we're gonna get to Lawrence O'Donnell's speculation in a second, which honestly, I totally believe. Anyway, we'll get to that. Well, then we gotta know. Look, guys, the incompetence of the Democrats knows no bounds. So Donald Trump's kids have said publicly, we got all our money from the Russians. Oh yeah, I wonder why is Trump doing this with the Russians? It probably had to do with Hillary Clinton's hurt feelings. I can't figure it out. It had to do with the election, right? Why we lost, otherwise we wouldn't have lost, right? Okay, get beyond it. So why is he doing weird things like saying, hey guys, I want to hurt all of our allies in NATO, but I want to make sure that we bring the Russians back into the G7. Why is he doing that? Maybe, I don't know, maybe, I guess I'm the genius, right? I figured out that maybe the things that are in the public record might be connected. The fact that they got all their money from the Russians might be connected to the fact that Donald Trump is currently serving the Russians. Wow, I'm so goddamn smart. I mean, how could you not see that? And so why am I angry at the Democrats? Do you know that they could have his tax returns tomorrow? Like if you're watching the press and cable news, you get, no, they're doing the suing and they're working hard. No. New York passed a law saying that the head of the House Ways and Means Committee can ask for Donald Trump's New York state tax returns. And Richard Neal, the Democrat put in charge of that committee by Nancy Pelosi, says, I don't want them. What? What on God's green earth?
Well, look, to be fair, I mean, they're just looking ahead to the future because they know that if they were in a similar situation, if there was a Democrat in office and there were some investigations going on, the Republicans would play nice and they wouldn't follow through with what that law allows them to do, which is obtain this. I mean, come on, at this point, I almost feel like they're political operatives that have been put in place by Donald Trump.
No, very close, very close. They're political operatives put in place by Donald Trump's donors. So the same corrupt donors give money to Richard Neal, Nancy Pelosi, and Donald Trump. And then voila, the resistance turned into the assistance. So what I'm saying is so obvious that if I was you, I'd have trouble believing it. So you could look it up. There's a Vox article, there's a Washington Post article. You can look it up anywhere you like. Yes, New York passed a law. Andrew Cuomo signed the bill into existence. And it says specifically, Richard Neal can ask for the Ways and Means Committee chairman can ask for it, and he won't ask for it. They're like, why the hell won't you ask for it? He's like, well, I don't want to seem partisan. But wait a minute, we're not asking you to have it be partisan. We're asking you, is the guy a crook? And there's no way of knowing. And he waited 4 months to ask for his federal tax returns, where everybody's like, why won't you ask for them? He gets primaried and he's like, oh yeah, federal tax returns, sure. And still for the New York State tax returns, you won't do it. So guys, you got to get him out. Richard Neal is in that sense politically public enemy number one, because he is the biggest defender of Donald Trump in America today. Bill Barr couldn't defend him that much because he's not a Democrat. Bill Barr doesn't control the House. Pelosi and Richard Neal do. And so we're gonna start with a petition. We'll put it up later tonight, tyt.com/tax returns. We're asking for the simplest thing in the world. And guys, when I say public enemy number one, I want to be super clear. I said political, I mean political. Keep it 100% political, electoral, ideological, okay? We're asking for the simplest thing in the world. Ask for the tax returns. You're the only guy in the country who can do it. You have no excuse for not doing it. If you're asking for the federal tax returns, why wouldn't you ask for the state ones? You know why he's not asking for the state ones? Because he can get the state ones and he doesn't want them. Because then, oh my God, we'd have to fight Donald Trump and our donors would be so upset. And by the way, we're raising a lot of money by having the boogeyman out there. Oh, Donald Trump is so scary. Send money to Richard Neal right away. Send money to Nancy Pelosi right away. And Nancy Pelosi admitted it, which is great for fundraising. They're the worst. And then we're gonna work on surrounding Richard Neal's congressional office, not his home, and not in a physical or threatening way. Politically, do sit-ins, do civil disobedience, okay? Go occupy his Massachusetts office, go occupy his Washington office. Look, we'll work on helping you guys in how to do that, because I can't take it anymore. Nobody on cable news is talking about it. Nobody's talking about the fact that Richard Neal can just ask for the goddamn returns and he'd have them. But no, I want to help Donald Trump. Nah, and then they tell me they're my colleagues. Oh, Jay, you're your colleagues. Oh, by the way, get his ass out of office. We have to beg? We have to beg and plead for a Democrat to fight Trump? No, Alex Morse is running against him. JusticeDemocrats.com/Morse. JusticeDemocrats.com/Morse. Go give him money, go volunteer for him, and make sure that you get this Richard Neal the hell out of Congress, because they're all sellouts who work with the Republicans, who work for the goddamn donors. Resist. What resist?
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.